people gather is something very special. I was fortunate enough to go to the movie premiere of Pink Panther 2 at the Ziegfeld Theater in New York. And as is tradition at the movie premieres, the stars of the movie will go down the red carpet and the paparazzi will hang out, and they do 2 or 3 stops, and they do photographs and they do interviews. And at the opening of Pink Panther, they didn't use a red carpet, they used a pink carpet. And of course, Steve Martin and Andy Garcia didn't walk down the red carpet, they drove down the red carpet in the Smart car too that they used in the movie. Of course, the only car they could ever get on a sidewalk in New York City. But what was more interesting than that, when they stopped, got out of the car, got back in the car, went in. When you go inside the theater at a movie premiere, the tradition, the polite thing to do, is the first time a particular star that's present at the premiere says his first lines of the movie, the crowd will recognize the star, applaud, the star will get up, recognize the applause, sit back down, the next lines, and they do that, and the projectionist will stop the movie to recognize it. Well, it all happened. Tia Carrera said her line, Steve Martin, Andy Garcia, a lot of big stars in that movie, they all said their line. Everybody applauded. What nobody expected, not even us, didn't even know it. It was absolutely spontaneous with a crowd of 500 or so people. When Steve Martin drove the Smart across the screen in the very first scene, everybody got up and applauded the Smart. It was really unbelievable. We sold a car to a comedian, David Leisure. He was the Isuzu guy. Don't lie, you know, I'm a liar. David Leisure. And I called him about a couple months after he had gotten his car, as I probably called a few of you, and asked him how he liked it. And he goes, I got to tell you what, the car is part of the family. Every night when my wife and I go to bed with the dog, the car jumps in with us. And that's how we all feel about our car. We feel it is more, it's part of our family. So it's really, you know, and there's a lot of things we kind of wish we had with the car, or wish it did that, or wish it did that. But I'll tell you, in its simplicity is the beauty of the car. You know, in its pure simplicity, the purest sense, is the beauty of this car. And we're going to keep trying to get better, and we're going to keep trying to give you things you want. I mentioned to Ken, hopefully next year we're going to have a special edition yellow car. You know, we'll build yeah, I know you do. But you know how these things work, and I was at the meeting where they canceled yellow, you know, much to my chagrin. But it's such a great yellow. Believe me, I'm converted. I love the color. The green people will be, you'll be satisfied. Not 2010. We got something for you. Maybe 2011. There's 42 countries now selling it. We were the 37th country. So in the meeting that canceled the yellow, I'm there at the meeting with other representatives from the other 36 countries. And they made the presentation. They have 6 paint lines in the factory in Honda. They'll expand to 7 in 2011. That's why we could probably bring the shade of green. It's going to be really cool. It's actually a matte green. I'll spill all the beans. This will probably be on YouTube tomorrow. But it's really a beautiful color. You'll really like it. It's really different, and it's nice. But so all they do is they put the penetration percentages of the total build of the world, and the bottom color is just off. That's one they eliminate to bring in the new color, which was the gray. So I see yellow at the, and I said, well, that's got to be a mistake. Our penetration, that's the best color. Well, that's the highest penetration color, back and forth between blue and yellow. But it has to be wrong, and we're 20% of the world, so these numbers can't be right. So of course I got all the numbers. I'm doing the math, and you know, it wasn't at the bottom because the penetration rates weren't there for the rest of the world. So that's how it got cut off. So I go and visit the plant manager at the factory, and I said, how can we work with this? And he said, well, it's easy. Just give me a special edition, build them in quantities of about 300 to 500, and we'll shut the line down and we'll build you your color. So that's what we we're probably going to do for next year, it's probably going to be a pure with air conditioning and power, windows and mirrors. So that's what we're thinking of doing. It'll be a good value, be a nice car. So we can do it, and there's ways that it can be done. We just have to, be more creative in how we do it. So any other ideas that anybody might have, we'll be happy to try to accommodate. The wide range of people that are in here, the age groups from the very youngest, ages like myself. We said this at the beginning. When we were launching this car, everybody said, well, who's going to be the buyer of this car? And I said, look, this is going to be a very different marketing exercise. Because you cannot target our buyer by age or income, but rather by attitude and lifestyle. That this is a car that has the opportunity to not only transcend traditional buying segments, but also has a chance to transcend generations of buyers. And nothing could be more true and represented in a room like this. In fact, just about 3 weeks ago, Miley Cyrus, who's 16 years old, just got her driver's license picked up with Smart. And some of you might remember the guy that started a show called McHale's Navy, Ernest Borgnine, who celebrated his 93rd birthday. His wife bought him a birthday present and bought him a Smart that he picked up at Smart Center, Beverly Hills. So that really, I don't know either of the colors. I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, now a lot of them, Beverly Hills, the dealer in Beverly Hills, he's just making a living painting cars. He's got a whole book of, you want Lamborghini orange? No problem. He'll go get a painted Lamborghini orange. They'll paint to custom in places like Beverly Hills, and a lot of other dealers have done that. You probably go visit them and they'll find a way. It kind of gets expensive, but and next year we'll probably have a program called Tailor Made. That Brabus will build you a custom car. I was telling Ken at dinner that one of our guys had a car done in Tailor Made, had a British Racing Green car done, and really cool. Not only was the car done in British Racing Green, the tritium was painted, the top was painted in a kind of a, you could tell it's British Racing Green. There's like metallic fragments. It's very cool.
Shoot away.
Saddle, but very expensive. So Brabus is a handmade factory. It's a wonderful place.
How about a Brabus with a turbo?
Well, Brabus with a turbo is a bit of an issue on the cost side, and to develop the engine, and we could do it, we have to guarantee a certain quantity, and at a price that we just didn't think was commercially acceptable to get us the quantity we need. So that's why right now we don't have the turbo. We're on a constant quest to try to make it.
Already got it.
We're on a quest to make it, try to get it affordable. If we can do that, we'll bring it in. We have the same issue with the diesel. It just, the cost to do it, it would be hard to justify the premium that you have to
overseas though.
Yes, they do. But the emission requirements are completely different.
We do not have emissions in Florida, though. We're good.
But, it's interesting you say that because there could be a 37-state, there could be a diesel, theoretically, that is state limited, but that becomes problematic as well. When you do that, there's all kinds of issues that you have to deal with in state law. So I'm sorry we can't bring those products to you right now. Who knows what the future will bring. The more success we have in the United States, the more affordable these things become. Right now we're in, not a very good economy. We don't have to tell anybody that. The gas prices now are just unbelievable. And people get tricked into thinking they're going to stay this way. They're not going to. I was very pleased to see when President Obama took office and he was being interviewed on 60 Minutes, and the reporter said, well, President Obama, now that the barrel of oil is down below $70 a barrel and gas prices are under control, I imagine your energy platform will take a back seat. And he said, that's exactly why it won't take a back seat, because we're not going to get tricked by this. We're not going to be held hostage by this. And he's putting his money where his mouth is. He just, the CAFE requirement for 2016 is now a 35.5 mile fleet average. By the way, we're the only car company in the United States that today meets that 2016 fleet requirement. I've made that point.